So, with Marvel next year, well, actually, I should say coming this year, because we're about 2-3 days away from, as of this recording, away from 2015. Let's just say this year, Marvel's, coming out with Daredevil, and then, we got the Jessica Drew series. We recently had a casting for Luke Cage. I've been thinking to myself, what other shows would Marvel do with the whole Marvel Netflix deal? And I came up with a few ideas of characters and one team, well, two teams actually, excuse me, that I think would make really cool shows on Netflix. Starting off with Werewolf by Night. Werewolf by Night is a very underrated character. He is, for those who don't know, he's Jack Russell, who his family was cursed by Dracula to bear the mark of the wolf. And Jack Russell uses his power of the werewolf to fight for justice. And I think this would be a really cool show of maybe just these one-and-done horror stories of Jack roaming around the U.S. and fighting other monsters, and maybe trying to find a cure for himself. I think that would be a really cool premise for a story. I think that would, kind of like there actually was a there actually was a show back in the 80s that was trying to be the Incredible Hulk TV show, and 70s, 80s TV show called Werewolf the Series, and yeah, you could kind of do that. Just have a guy, Jack Russell, kind of make it like, because Jack Russell was this badass biker who, eventually he was like, you know what, I'm a werewolf, I'm going to use this power to just kill everything, kill anyone who does bad to me, and call it a day. Anyone who does wrong, I'm going to tear their throat out and eat them. And I think that would be a really cool story to play with. I think that would be a really cool, interesting premise to play around with, of a guy who is it's not like with the Hulk where Banner's still kind of like at odds with the Hulk at times, as it's seen in Avengers. But with Jack Russell, you can have him actually be more at peace with the beast inside of him. Again, I think I just rhymed. So I think that would be really cool, and it could actually tie into some other ideas that I have in here. So let's move on. So moving on to Ghost Rider, yeah. Marvel recently got the rights back to Ghost Rider, and I think it's high time you used them, Marvel. I think it's high time you made Ghost Rider good again, because those last two movies, fuck them. I think a Ghost Rider movie would actually be a lot better as I think it would be a lot better as a series than it would a TV show. A series better than a movie, excuse me. I think it would make a lot better because you can, again, make it like, you can actually make Ghost Rider a combination of Sons of Anarchy meets Constantine. That's how you can Supernatural meets Sons of Anarchy. That's how you can do it. Supernatural meets Sons of Anarchy with a Ghost Rider Netflix series. And you can have Ghost Rider actually kill people. I mean, yeah, he killed people in the other movie, but in here, I mean, you could do a lot of the stuff Jason Aaron and Garth Ennis did. And here's the thing. I think it's high time that we gave it to Dan Ketch. I think we should put Dan Ketch in the spotlight. I like Johnny Blaze and all, but I grew up with Dan Ketch. I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there like Dan Ketch over Johnny Blaze. Should Johnny Blaze be in the show? Yeah. It's Johnny's older brother. They were separated from birth. He should be in there. He should be in the show. You could do a lot of the Dan Ketch run and have Johnny Blaze say that he was the Ghost Rider and give him the Hellfire shotgun and all that. And, yeah, you can, I'm pretty sure they have an idea of what to do, because I think I have the weirdest feeling that I think Marvel is waiting to roll out their real supernatural stuff once Doctor Strange comes out. I think they're waiting to use all their supernatural stuff once Doctor Strange comes out, because that's going to be the real first supernatural movie in the supernatural stuff in the Marvel universe. I mean, they pretty much said Thor and the others were were aliens. They were extraterrestrial beings that, people considered were gods. So, excuse me. I think I have just the weirdest feeling that we're going to see more supernatural stuff from Marvel after Doctor Strange. But again, I think that would be high time. You could use Johnny Blaze. I just personally believe that you should go with Dan Ketch at this point. That's just my personal opinion. And you could use all of his villains. Because let's face it, he had the bigger rogues gallery than Johnny Blaze, too. Hell, all the villains you saw in the movie were Dan Ketch villains. Blackheart, Willow, Blackout, all of them. They were fucking Dan Ketch villains. Johnny Blaze didn't really have a lot of rogues gallery. He was more like fighting freak of the week kind of character in the early 70s. The only real villain he really had were Mephisto and the Orb. That was about it, I think. Could be wrong, but it's been a while since I've read classic Johnny Blaze comics. Anyway, so that's what I think. Also, you could tie this in with Werewolf by Night and another show. And another idea I had for a Marvel Supernatural series in here that I'll get to later on. How about bringing in the how Daredevil and Luke Cage and the rest of them are going to be the Defenders later on? How about you tie in Werewolf by Night, Ghost Rider, maybe a Blade TV show, and have them all come together and become a version of the Midnight Suns. Yeah, you could have them come together and be have a Midnight Sun series. That'd be awesome, right? Anyway, so moving on. So I'm just going to talk about the last supernatural character I think would make a great TV show other than Blade. I didn't bring up Blade because Blade was obviously the obvious one that would make an and Blade did have a TV show on, I think, CW. Did not work out too well, but I think Marvel could breathe some new life into the Blade TV series, into a Blade Netflix TV series. Well, let's talk about the other character I think could work in this pseudo Midnight Suns kind of thing. The Damien Hellstorm, son of Satan. This would be a great pseudo Constantine type show. Instead of it's an exorcist, it's the actual son of Satan that's fighting his father's armies. I think this would be another great show. Again, you can make it a great gothic horror of Damien wandering around the world, wandering around America or around the world, even fighting other demons and even confronting and battling demons like Blackheart and Mephisto and other big name Marvel supernatural villains. I think that would be really cool. You could even have his sister Satana. Satana in here. You could have Satana be a co-star in the show. You could have her travel with him or guest star in times of the show. But yeah, again, I think it would be really cool to see him and even his sister come together with Ghost Rider, Werewolf by Night, and Blade, Man-Thing. I don't know if a Man-Thing TV series. I would like a Man-Thing TV series, but I don't think anyone would go for it, sadly. So yeah, Midnight Suns to come together. Yeah, have them on it. The only one we'd be missing is Morbius, because Morbius is over at Sony, unfortunately. Anyway, so let's move on to the next few characters. What? Did you not think I was going to think this was a good idea? Of course it's a good idea. I want a goddamn Punisher TV show, and on Netflix, hell yeah. With Netflix, and I know they've tried again and again to do a Punisher TV show on multiple stations, from Fox to even Stars to all of them. I think, but here's the thing, Stars would have been good too, but I think on Netflix, I believe on Netflix, this would be really great because there would be no really creative bounds, and we would see Punisher brutally killing people like we saw in Warzone. I know it's not a great movie. I will openly admit that Warzone is not a, great movie. Having said that, though, it's pretty freaking awesome. Killing-wise. If you want to see Frank Castle rack up a body count in the most ridiculous ways possible, by all means, check this out. But, yeah, just have some great, have Frank Castle... Frank Castle going out hunting down his enemies. You could have it tie in with the Defender series. You could even have it tie in with Daredevil. You could have him going after the Kingpin, and you could even have You can have Jigsaw. You can have so many great characters. Microchip. All of them in here. To do this, just this great kind of almost crime drama-esque story without the drama in it. Just Punisher brutally killing scumbags that just need a bullet in their head. And yeah, I think it would be really cool to have this guy, this gun-toting Marine, just have his take on a world, in a world where superheroes, superpowered beings exist, and just have him be like, whatever, just sorry, I'm still working off a cold. Well, flu actually. Excuse me. I'm a little out of it, as you can tell. So much medication. But yeah, pretty much Punisher would be like, meh, as long as they don't get in the way, I won't kill them. Anyway, so yeah, Punisher TV show would be freaking awesome. So following that is a Moon Knight series. Now, I think the best way you could do a Moon Knight series on Netflix is kind of make it equivalent to the Warren Ellis series and what they're doing with Moon Knight now. Just these standalone kind of weird fringe, kind of make it like Fringe meets Sherlock. That's kind of how Warren Ellis does it. Is like it's Fringe meets Sherlock, and that's kind of the angle I think would really work for Moon Knight. I don't know who could play Mark Spector, but it would be really cool to have an actor who can really delve out that psychology. Because as we all know, Mark Spector ain't the most mentally stable guy in the Marvel universe. Sorry, I had to take a drink. But yeah, I think actually one actor I would really like to see play Moon Knight is, for some reason, I think Karl Urban would be a really good Moon Knight. I know a lot of people fan casted him as Batman before Ben Affleck was cast, but I think he would be, Karl Urban, I think would be really cool at playing Moon Knight. I don't know why. And again, I really suck at fan casting, but something just says, screams Karl Urban for Moon Knight. Again, assuming, Marvel throws him out there. And Moon Knight, I mean, on Netflix. One can only hope. But anyway, so moving on. Following that is a She-Hulk TV show. Yes, a She-Hulk Netflix series. The best way you could do this is probably like follow the Dan Slott run, which had a lot of action and comedy, and that's what Jen Walters has always been at heart. An action comedy kind of character. You could have Mark Ruffalo. I can't believe I forgot his name. Mark Ruffalo cameo. Do the origin of Jen Walters and have her. Be like, I like being this giant. 18-foot. 18-foot. 8 to 9 foot green giant. I'm gonna have a little fun here. So you can have her, fight crime, and have you could even have Daredevil show up. You can even have Matt Murdock show up and just be like, okay, I'm the lawyer here, and you're the prosecuting attorney. Oh, God, what happened to you? Yeah. Again, I think this would be something more along the lines of, like, an action comedy. Because I don't really see this, the other ones would be dark, gritty dramas. This one would be a little more, I could imagine She-Hulk being a lot more lighthearted. Something along the lines of, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, where it does have some dramatic moments, but it does have some good action and comedy. I probably said that a lot, too, I'm sorry. So, let's move on now. Following that is Thunderbolts. Now, how I could imagine Thunderbolts as a TV series, because originally James Gunn wanted to do a Thunderbolts movie, but since, David Ayer's doing Suicide Squad, he decided to drop it. I think this could work as a Marvel Netflix series, because you could really show off all the lesser-known Marvel villains. You could show off Killer Shark, you could show off, of course, my girl, Songbird, my favorite female character in the Marvel Universe. You could show off, Atlas, you can show off so many, great characters from the Thunderbolts series. Now, I could imagine it being something like how it was in the Jeff Parker run, where in there, it was Luke Cage pretty much trying to get villains to reform, and how he did that was to get them on separate missions and try to be heroes. So I think it would be something like that where he's. And Marvel has so many villains out there they can use, and hell, they have Mr. Hyde in the Marvel Cinematic Universe on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So you could have it tie in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., assuming they don't kill him off in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., assuming, of course, if they don't kill him off, they have him arrested, and you could have him show up in here as Mr. Hyde. Yeah. This would be a great place to show off all the other different characters in the all these lesser known villains, and show them off and show how badass they can be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and have them fight other villains that they don't really have a chance to show off in the movies. So that's what I think. I thought that if you do it like that, I think it could work. Anyway, moving on. And finally, Young Avengers. Now, with Teen Titans coming out, you know that Marvel would probably be looking at, hey, they're doing a Teen Titans show. What do we got? Young Avengers? Do it. So I think this is a small possibility, because, Marvel and DC got that dick measuring contest going on, so, when we start seeing more stuff for Teen Titans, I would not be surprised if they do something with Runaways, or something with the other young superheroes. I just have a feeling they would do something like that. Anywho, but I think this would be really another great live-action series to go upon. I would have liked it more animated, but there is no chance of it either being done, or, for that matter, done right. But I think it would be really cool. I really don't have, unfortunately, I don't have any character, I really suck at casting. So, unfortunately, I can't give you any cast, but the roster, I think, should be, obviously the original lineup with Patriot, Wiccan, Hulkling, Kate Bishop, Stature, and maybe Vision 2.0, assuming he dies or something in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Anywho, so that is pretty much my list of ideas for my what I'd like to see actually in the Marvel Netflix TV series. You guys tell me, what characters would you like to see get their own Netflix TV shows? There are a ton, trust me, that I want to use more, like Spider-Woman and and Blade, obviously, and a few others. But I am pretty tired, and I want to give you guys some, let you guys have some room. Anywho, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.